Sorry, Forge is closed. The new year just started. I am not opening back up until... Oh, hey. Sorry, I thought you were a client. No, come in, grab a seat. I'm just doing a little decluttering and tidying. Yearly reset type stuff. I like to take the first week of the year off crafting and ease into it. But, I can spare time to chat. What's up? A lost saurian. I haven't heard much, but I'll keep an ear out. Sorry I can't help more. Oh, something else? Yeah, sure. I'm not using them. Once the phlogiston is used up, they don't do much. But if you're just looking for pretty trinkets, they should serve you well enough. There's still more? Wait. You're trying to do all of that today? Well, that to-do list is like longer than my tail. How many people did you promise to help out? That's more people than there are competitors in the pilgrimage. Well, I'm not saying turn them down, just... You gotta know you can't do it all in a day, right? No deadline is worse if you ask me. That just means they haven't decided when the deadline is. One day they'll turn up at your door begging you to drop everything and get it done then and there. It's a nightmare. Hey, look, let me give you a little advice. Or, I guess it's more like a lot of advice. Whatever. If someone doesn't have a deadline in mind, you should slot them in as soon as possible. The sooner you get their request off your list, the less time they have to change their minds. But you should also keep tabs on how many clients you have and tell people up front where they are in the line when they come asking. If they know ahead of time how long they'll have to wait, they can think more about when they really want it done and find someone else to do it faster if they need it sooner. Really? Well, I don't think so. Just because you say no doesn't mean you're hurting them. You're not the only capable hand at Natlan. 9 times out of 10, someone else can help if you're swamped. I mean, yeah, my dad always says when every person in Natlan takes up the responsibility they can shoulder, Natlan will stand strong forever. But that's not to say you have to work every second of your life. The responsibility you can shoulder is supposed to account for breaks too, you know? Well, no, breaks are mandatory. It's not about laziness. It's just the opposite, really. It's, Okay, here. Look at my setup here, right? We've got the literal forge with the phlogiston flames and the tools I use to hold the ores until they melt down. Then you've got the anvil. As soon as I get the ores superheated, I bring them over here and start hammering away. But you know, it's not about hammering it down to a pulp. Unless you're making something crazy thin, usually what you want to do is find the fewest number of precise hits it takes to shape the piece into the form you want. Yeah, but I'm getting to that too. Because you see this? The bucket of water here beside the anvil? Yeah, some folks assume that's for putting out fires in case there's an accident. But no, I really use this in my crafts. I have to. See, once a metal is superheated, it changes. That's really helpful when you're molding tools and ornaments, but once you're done, you need it to harden again. And if you leave it to just cool off like a cake out of the oven, it can settle wrong and end up weaker than you wanted. So, instead, we do something called quenching. You heat and soak it in a special solution to lock it in place, and then you dunk the whole thing in cold water. That sets the treatment and makes the metal as hard as it can possibly be. So, even though we think of forging as being molded and shaped in searing flames, the most important part is actually the cool down and aftercare. You have to go just as hard on resting as you do on burning, or else all that hard work you did while the flames were hot will go to waste when the phlogiston runs out. Yeah, there's a saying. If you don't schedule rest time, your body will force it on you later. But basically, if you push too hard without pulling back, eventually you'll break, and then you'll have to stop anyway. If you ask me, I think it's better to take naps on my own terms, instead of just waiting until I pass out and risking having it happen while I'm at the forge. Plus, taking a little half-hour nap lets me come back swinging as hard as I can, and I don't have to worry about slowing down or making weaker strikes on my afternoon projects because the morning wore me out. I'm going to be so real with you right now. You look like you're burning out. You're way overdue for a break. Hey, just tell them you were helping me. Should be pretty believable, since you take on literally any request you get. That wasn't supposed to be mean. It's just kind of what's happening, isn't it? I'm telling you, this year's barely started and you're already stressed out. That's a sure sign it's time for a nap. Come on, I've got a nice bed all set up in the back of the forge. It's close enough to the fire to keep you nice and toasty, but far enough away that you won't sweat to death. And I've got good pillows. I'll help you fluff them up. Of course I don't mind. In fact, I don't think I've ever had to try so hard to convince someone to take a nap. Come on, come lie down. And, I'll keep an ear out for any news on that saurian you were tracking, yeah? If anyone comes looking for you, I'll let them know you're busy doing something really important. After all, taking care of yourself is the most important quest there is.